morning. How are you? Well, let's get going. I know that was dancing music and you were probably up on your feet, happy feet. But hey, we got work to do. So good morning, happy Tuesday. Hope you enjoyed the birthday of President Washington. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance because trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. Never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Let me put this over here. Let me, oh, I've lost the, where'd it go? Where'd the thing go? There's the thing. Hang on, still haven't got it there. There we go. Anyways, good morning. All right, in the description below, there are resources made available to you. I'd like to point them out. Tradersway.com is an ethical and trustworthy foreign exchange broker that does not trade against you. If you want to have a symbiotic relationship with your service providers, well, Traders Way is unique because it's an ECN. You should try that. I'm launching a new service. Sneak peeks are coming out very soon. To get a sneak peek, you should visit traders.co. Radars for traders. We'll blow you away with AI-driven technical analysis. How'd you like to look at 7,500 charts and just see the 8 or the 6 or the 3 that are important? Yeah, put your name on the list, bro. Investor Bootcamp, video training. You want a virtual coach? TradePlans.ai. You post what you think, it tells you what it thinks. Very cool. So on and so forth. I wrote a book. There's free training courses on YouTube. All of this stuff is on the description below today's video. Please check it out. They were made for you. Or people very similar to you back in the past. So, hope you enjoyed your long weekend. We have NVIDIA tomorrow. We have meeting minutes coming out in the not too distant future. We have news in 19 minutes for the USD kitty cat. Should be interesting. Okay, so what do you think? Do you think the Canadian dollar is going to move? Yeah. Is it going to get stronger or is it going to get weak? Well, I know statistically what has happened in the past. Here we are looking at my WTI, but let's roll over to the kitty cat because that's going to be a big newsworthy event. There's going to be some volume and volatility associated with that. Good morning. So one thing you can do is watch the relative strength, and you can do that by using the index tools that are available with your Investor Bootcamp membership. And that allows you to create an index for the Canadian dollar. And all that means is it shows you the strength or weaknesses of the Canadian dollar versus all the other majors. And after a news, if you're doing like news trading or volatility, you could put it on like a small time frame. And therefore, you can see the Canadian dollar strong right now over the last few minutes. Because it's not the Canadian dollar versus euro, or it's not the Canadian dollar versus US dollar. Like, for example, if it was USD CAD and this was falling, you don't really know, is it the dollar that's weak, the US dollar that's weak, or is it the Canadian dollar that's strong? Okay? So this cuts through all that because it's showing that the Canadian dollar is falling relative to all the other currencies. Cool. There you go. What's up, Silly Sally? So you might want to watch that for a bit. Okay, Canadian dollar losing ground to the New Zealand dollar. And you can see I have it set as a higher high, higher low roll reversal. Okay, and so far the swing trade is developing. Took a while though. It's actually a position trade. That's the buy zone for the month. It's a 50% retracement. Okay. And now the target is up here. Because the bottom is an M2, you're really going to go to 84.09, which is just the upper bounds of the existing range. Grumpy Cat says, how can I get that CAD index? It's included with your $88 a year membership. So let's do this. InvestorBootcamp.com. All right. Cool. So you log in. Okay. And it's in your toolkit. And it's called the Currency Indexer. There it is. Lovely, right? Isn't that beautiful, Grumpy? You know, I adopted some animals recently. And, you have to work with shelters and stuff like that. And one of the women was interviewing me. And she said, well, do you have a particular cat in mind that your family would be open to adopting? I said, yeah. I want a broken cat that no one will adopt. I said, I want a grumpy cat that smiles all the time. I delivered it really well, though. But I had been building up for this, right? So I'm like, I want a grumpy cat that smiles all the time. She couldn't believe it. I said, I want a broken cat that nobody wants. I want a grumpy cat that smiles all the time. She didn't really get it. She didn't get it. I'm like, how could you not get that? Come on, it's funny. Anyways. Okay. Was that right, Sally? Okay, there's something similar. Yeah, I mean, it's not, you know, it's not a crazy difficult thing to get, something like it. Just make sure you know what it's doing. Is it equally weighted or not equally weighted? Stuff like that. Like dollar index is something you can trade, but there's more than one dollar index and they index differently. So, anyways. So we are, where are we? I have a timer, 11 minutes and 27 seconds until the Canadian dollar news. And my research has told me there's a high probability of Canadian dollar weakness. Now, on this small time frame, okay, Canadian dollar is showing weakness. Okay? But I was able to discuss that almost an hour ago. It's better to discuss it an hour ahead of time, right? Yeah, that's cool, Highlander. Well, this one bonded. So I ended up adopting two cats, which is really interesting. All right, let's move on. I just want to do a quick look at the commodities. Okay, my WTI very topish at 79. Okay, and testing sort of testing the 4-hour trend. Okay. Gold came down, tested the 2,000 mark, which is something that we've been talking about for quite some time. And then had a big old bounce. So I'm trying to kind of fit this in. Okay. The lower low, predicting a lower high, that kind of thing. Nat gas now on my first target that I created last month. Okay. Oh, this isn't even my trade. Okay, this is Traders. Traders did this a couple of weeks ago, I guess, and targeted this this level here. I have it as 156. And then I made this second one. So that's me. But as you can see, this target was created by traders.co. Oops, nope. Traders. You get it? Oops, .co. Okay, so that's what this is all about. So it said down on a break, and based on that break, target here, and we just hit it. So that's pa-ching. Okay, and then I threw this, and I'm like, it'd be interesting to get a role reversal. So traders.co tracks individual stocks like NVIDIA coming out tomorrow. It tracks stock indices like the S&P 500, NASDAQ, DAX, FTSE. It does Forex, and it does commodities like gold, oil, silver. It does crypto, Bitcoin, ETH, so on and so forth. More than that, but okay. So it's a pretty cool tool. So that's a trade plan that it did, and it's done. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay. Yeah, you remember that, but it's not something you trade. Yeah, I don't trade nat gas either, but people do ask, and traders does track it. So if you do, it's there. Yeah. Now, I think one of the major ways to use traders.co will almost be like a coach. Can you imagine? Like even if it's tracking stuff you don't trade, it's doing technical analysis. And one of the amazing things about it is it's doing technical analysis on trade plans that haven't actually established yet. So you can see that it's working on dozens, let's say 50. It's working on 50 patterns that are forming, but that haven't formed yet. Like they're setups. They're not signals. It's actually developing the analysis. It's like this pattern is slowly forming, and if it does form, will turn into a trade. But it's showing you doing it. It's doing it on all these things. This seems to be shaping. This looks like it could become a head and shoulders. This looks like a wedge, that kind of stuff. And then it reorganizes things. When the wedge breaks out, then it goes over and says, okay, now the wedge is broken out, and now this is where it'll extend out to, right? So there's like stuff that's forming. So it's all like predictive before it's happened stuff. And then this is happening. I mean, amazing, right? So it's like, to me, it's like a technical analyst working for you, and you're the portfolio manager. And you're like, hey, analyst, what are you working on? And you're like, well, actually, I'm watching 52 trades right now. Let me show you what they are. And you're like, I only want to see Forex. Okay, well, I'm working on 22 Forex trades right now. Let me show you all these ones. This is a wedge forming. This is a channel forming. This is a Gartley forming. This is a Fibonacci forming. Okay? Okay? Sal, it's because I teach. I think that's what it is. But I don't know. Maybe I'm unlikable. I'm unlovable. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, Bitcoin remaining elevated for sure. Okay. Hasn't come down. Definitely stuck on the annual R1. Pareto's distribution. Well, I certainly don't hurt anybody, if that's what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, I think we gain without hurting anybody. All right. So, anyways, how far are we now? I don't want to get too far away. 2 minutes and 23 seconds. All right. So let's go over to CAD, and we will look at all Canadian news. Okay. Okay. Canadian dollar is winning here versus USD Kitty Cat. And there's a high probability, maybe not on the news, but after the news, USD CAD goes up. Now, how do you get to that probability? Based on the last 12 reports on Canadian inflation, which is about to come out, in periods like the 2-hour chart, the 4-hour chart, and even 2-day chart, 2 hours, 4 hours, and 2 days, there's a high probability that this goes up. So if, to use it, like maybe it comes out like that. Oops, let's get rid of that. So in non-predictive, we only know past, and past does not predict the future. But don't be shocked if, let's say, the Canadian dollar gets strong versus US dollar. Don't be shocked if it changes direction. That's all. Based on what's happened in the past. You got it? 35 seconds. Okay, high probability of up no matter what happens, but not instantly, not a scalp, but an intraday trade. Okay. Okay, any second now. Oh, did I say up? Okay, delta, -4, less than expected. Sorry. Oh, wait. That was good, actually. Nothing to be sorry about. Okay. I'm going to sing my favorite song. I don't drink coffee. No, actually, I do drink coffee. Yeah. So the delta, -0.4. So traders, one of the best things is it has a real-time live, I don't want to call it a calendar. There's a scalping tool, basically. That's where I get this information from, a new scalping tool. Would anybody here be interested in a new scalping tool? Yeah. Well, you're going to be able to sign up for one at traders.co. So in QuantBox, if you watch today's video of QuantBox, I did not upload it, so I'm going to have to remember. But even if you didn't, just listen. So that was at 6:30 in the morning, so 2 hours ago. In that webinar, my AI predicted an 80% chance of up no matter what happened. Whether Canadian inflation was greater than expected, as expected, or less than expected, minimum 80% chance of up. Now, it's not predictive. It's not some algo. It's not a neural network. It just looked at what happened in the past. Past performance does not predict future results, but there is a statistical analysis of the past to help you frame what you see. So it's a probability. Well, it's not, I don't even like the word probability, because some people will say it's a probability to go up. No, it's not really probability. It's statistics. Statistically, that's what's happened over the data set. But it's not predictive at all. It's only looking backwards. Now, the cool thing is, okay, that this tool instantly says, okay, well, based on what actually happened, the consensus was 3.3, the actual was 2.9, the differential is negative 0.4, and when you look at all the misses for Canadian inflation going back, a year, it pulls up all the charts and shows you what's happened in the past. So I'm actually looking at the charts, okay, for what might happen today. So 35.12 is where we are now, okay? And then it shows there was a miss January 16th. There was a miss June 27th. And there was a miss April 18th. And I can see all the charts. Oh, well, that's helpful, isn't it? Yeah, so I would say at the very least it's helpful. Is it predictive? No, but it's definitely helpful. Cool. Anyways, what I'm worried about, of course, is that people just turn their brains off and they want the machine to make them rich. Yeah. Whatever. All right. Yeah, well, you'll have to go to traders.co. Again, I'll open it up. Traders.co. Okay. So here's what it said 2 hours ago. %80 chance if the actual is greater, which was not. 80% chance of up if it's less than 3.3. It was less than 3.3. Okay. So there you go. Canadian inflation year over year, USD CAD, 48 hours, 80% chance up. And then I clicked on this lower one, highlight historical events, if the actual comes out as expected, and it pulls it up. Okay. So that's what that scalping tool looks like. And it shows you the only the scalping events of the week. So even though there's 100 news events this week, it only shows you like the 8 that are going to set up for a scalp. So get on the list. I'm telling you, there you go. All right, cool. So that's that. Let's move. Let's move. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah. So my worry is some people are just going to trade it blindly, and I don't want that. The other thing is my worry. I have a bit of a worry. You might get kicked off your broker if you start winning. So we got to be careful about that. If you're not using an ECN like Trader's Way, well, there's a bit of a risk on that. All right, let's move over to, I want to see how the U.S. stock market's reacting to that. Okay, let's put them on hourly charts and see what's up. You're such an a-hole, listen what I say, oh, yeah. The more I see, the less I know. The more I have to let it go. Hey, ooh. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, I want to see if this is going to climb down. You can already see the trade plan for tomorrow is already set up. And, oops. Wayne, would you click the right button? Dude, seriously, come on. So there's tomorrow's trade plan. What? I don't know what that is. Is that stuff that makes you hallucinate? I don't even know what it is. DMT. I don't even know what DMT is. All right. Just watching this. I don't know what it is. You have to be more specific. When people say, hey, do you want to try this? My instant answer is no. No. No, I'm good. I'm happy, man. I don't need anything else. Yeah. Well, the stock market is not open, Mr. Wright. Yesterday was a holiday and the market was closed. That's why I was in South Beach. Don't call it Miami, Florida. And markets were closed. So we need the markets to open. Yeah. 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 That's so bad, Amanda. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was in Wynwood and it was like raining cats and dogs. You could see the rain bouncing off of people's roofs, like Forrest Gump, right? It was raining up. But It was all right. Saturday was all right. It was cool. Yeah, we're going to plan a proper event. Yeah, well, that's cold. Yeah, we'll plan something proper, and soon. Takes a little bit of planning, but not much. Not much. A little bit of planning. But South Beach was nice. Parts were nicer than others. So, like one of the places I visited was Water. Went there for sushi. That was nice. You see, it's right on the beach, which was nice. Reviews. Oh, some nice pictures. I like sushi. Like when I'm near the ocean, of course, I just eat as much seafood as possible. So I had tons of seafood. Very nice. Okay, let's do a zippity around the U.S. dollar. Let's do a zippity zippity. See what's going on. For the new scalp on USD Kitty CAD, we did the full Monty on the daily, where the green is the daily buy zone, and this dotted line, solid line, is the target for the day. So we went from the buy zone to the take profit zone. So by and large, okay, you could be done. Now the next big part of this is, will there be a continuation? Will Canada be punished for missing? Well, that's what you should be doing now. Okay. Okay. Done. Now the next move is maybe back to 35 and then up to 35.50. What do you guys think? Okay. Based on past performance, there's an 80% chance of further up. But we don't know nothing. We don't know nothing about the future. Okay? And there's no target either, it's just direction. Hang on, I gotta check something. Oh yeah, it's on my calendar. Good. Sorry, got a family thing tomorrow afternoon. I might not be able to do the day trading group tomorrow. Dope. All right, so that was cool. The next scalping event of the week, according to traders.co, Japanese balance of trade tonight at 650. Tomorrow, German IFO. Wait, no, that's not tomorrow. That's Friday. Just like that. Nothing else is interesting. There's tonight and then Friday at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's it. Everything else, statistically, either doesn't have a pattern of consistency or doesn't have the volatility to make it worthwhile. Is that worth? What kind of value is that? Okay. The other thing you can do is you can schedule a reminder on your calendar. Okay. Sal, the AI doesn't see it statistically being relevant to scalping. I didn't say it wasn't important. It's just not statistically relevant to scalping. Okay. But like we just did Canada, it's saying Canadian GDP on the 29th of February at 8:30 a.m. So I can schedule it on my calendar. Okay, let's see. So I can click a button. Oh, how did this pop up? Is it popping up as my account? There it is. So I clicked a button. It says Canada GDP. Quarter over quarter. This is me. I can set notifications. And then I think what I can do, where did the database go now? Oh, so difficult to manage. Hate having just one computer screen. It's like impossible. How do people do this? I guess it's here. No, that's the screenshot. Where did it go? I just lost it. It's so frustrating sometimes. Now I've lost the tool because I have too many screens open. Oh my God. Well, I'll close that window. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. So I can do something like this. So the 29th at 8:30, I can schedule it as a scalping event. And then I can open up the tool and check this out. I'm going to leave a note, copy, add to the description. the statistics. Okay. Anyways, save it. All right. So that's that. So maybe tomorrow's trade. Oh, look, it's already set up. Very nice. Interesting. Let me zoom back in. Zoom, 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 zoom. Cool. So the nice thing about that is you could schedule all the high events, right? The high volatility events for your event strategy, right? And then so your phone will buzz. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Hey man, Canadian GDP, and you're like, oh yeah, I scheduled that. So anyways. Yeah. Cool. So that's risk on. That dollar weakness is risk on. Definitely across the board, risk on. It's all good in the hood. Let's see if it translates. Okay, Bitcoin going up. Maybe the stock market stabilizing. Gold would go up in a scenario like that. Kicking off the my WTI. Okay, so this is something that traders did last week. As you can see, I've drawn it. Remember, I drew the triangle. I know it's hard to see now. Okay, there's the top end, the bottom end. So traders draws that for you. And then it draws a predictive arrow, and it has oil going up to 84. And again, we did this last week, and we'll see if it'll continue climbing higher. But we're at 78 going for 84. So who knows? Maybe, right? Let me open that up. Try to get this zoomed in properly. So a big giant, maybe, right? Yeah. Now imagine you were already bullish because you made a fundamental reason, rationale. For your analysis fundamentally, you were already a bull. Because remember, traders.co doesn't do any fundamentals. It has no freaking clue about anything fundamental. It's just looking at price and time. All right. So if you happen to be a bull anyways, I think this is how, having this filter, I think, is helpful. A technical filter for your, right, fundamental bias. Yeah. All right, well, it's almost 9. I guess it's time to go. Lots going on this week. It looks like I'm not going to be able to do day trading tomorrow. I have a family responsibility. And when I have those, I try to make them on Wednesdays because Tuesdays and Thursdays are big swing trading meetings. And Wednesdays are a little more quiet because it's day trading group. We meet for smaller meetings. It's generally just basically technical analysis. So, right, the least of the It's the smallest loss kind of thing. So just if you happen to be in my day trading group, just heads up, probably won't be able to make it tomorrow. But today is a big win. Today is a day trading and swing trading group. We will meet and we will do the week on the street. Very cool. And that's where we download all the fundamental economic reports from the governments around the world. We actually read the reports together. It's like doing the homework. Huh? Yeah, actually doing the work you're supposed to be doing. Of course, now I'm your guide and I'm your filter, and I can explain some of the stuff going on. Sometimes we just find like language, and I have to explain the language based on what they're talking about economically, because many of these reports are written assuming you're an economist or a policymaker. And so they might just, the words they're using, I can give the context of that, which is, the next level, I suppose. So thank you for being you. This is an interesting time to be alive. I'm glad you're on my team. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. I'll see you again real soon. You hear? Oh, Maida, I just saw your comment there. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that, Maida. Yeah, that's terrible. Well, my thoughts are with you both.